Employees, the lifeblood of any successful business. Human Capital Strategies offers resources to help employers meet their obligations, from compliance issues and insurance rates to compensation for injury or illness. Human Capital Strategies provides businesses like yours with integrated solutions to effectively manage your critical human resource needs. Contact them today at 480-962-1580 or visit the website hcscando.com. Human Capital Strategies, the next best thing to know employees.
Let's begin with my normal traditional welcome. Thank you all for making it today. We appreciate you taking your time to come down here and join us. Very interesting. I'm really excited about the topic. So it is, did you just say what I think I heard you say? So the values and costs of workplace communication.
What my passion is to work on retention and engagement. My new tagline is that we train managers how to treat people like human beings. And it's a kind of a novel concept in this day and age in market. So we have a full line of human resource assessments, and we do everything from top to bottom, from job descriptions all the way through executive coaching. So what we're going to do is, for the next, I guess, 90 minutes or so, we're going to talk about communications. And hopefully we'll have some fun. You may even learn something along the way. This is a huge body of knowledge, really. I mean, any one of the subjects that we're going to talk about today could take a full hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of module. So this is going to be a bit of a 5,000-foot view of the problems and the advantages of good communication in the workplace. So, and you're going to do a lot of work, actually. I'm not going to just stand up here and blather away. We're going to expect you to do some work. I'm going to call on people to volunteer. And so just be ready. And it's not always front row, Mike or Jen, but you're in prime territory. So just to talk about it, today's Toadie's agenda is something we're going to talk about. Is spell check doesn't catch everything, and but we're going to talk about the value of communication. And, or assuming everyone talks and writes good, what's the cost of that communication? What the numbers say about it, communication channels, communication etiquette, listening is more than hearing, know thy audience, and then we're going to talk about some solutions. Just to go over some of the numbers, 85% of business owners say it's possible their business has lost money due to ineffective presentation, proposal, memo, or email. Anybody experience that? Like you were right on the verge of a sale and somebody said the wrong thing, picked up a typo, quoted a wrong number, and it was gone. 55% of managers say their employees are not easily able to find information they need. I've seen different statistics. Executives spend an average of a full week a year just hunting down the right information, the folder, where it is in the system. So that's a big waste of time. 45% say information they use in their business is not accurate, complete, or up to date.
Email, you have mail, your telephone.
Email, mail, phone.
Some people can text now. It's weird.
Okay, text. Text with it, and so that's allowed. What else? What else are people using?
How about face-to-face?
Yeah, face-to-face.
People talk face-to-face today?
No, no, they should.
What a novel idea. Face-to-face?
Skype.
Social
media.
Yes. Skype? Skype. Social media? Well, Skype's a different technology, but social media.
Instant message. Voice messages.
Okay. Not only phone, but voicemail. What else? What other channels do you have?
Video.
Video? Movies? Okay.
Instant messaging.
Okay, texting, IM. So with all of this equipment in our hands, everything that's tangible here, how can communication be worse than it has been in the past? Okay, phone etiquette. Everybody knows Lily, I assume. I have a training video that I want to share with you.
One ringy-dingy. Two ringy-dingy. Oh, a gracious good afternoon, Mr. Beadle.
I'm Miss Tomlin, your representative from the telephone company. And you owe us a balance of $23.64. When may we expect payment? It's for 3 calls to Topeka, Kansas. You don't know anyone in Topeka, Kansas? Well, Mr. Beadle, that's beside the point. Now, when may we expect payment? When what freezes over? No, Mr. Beadle, you are not dealing with just anyone's fool. I am a high school graduate. Now then, Mr. Beadle? Mr. Beadle?
And I'm not going to go into the importance of listening. I think we all have a good understanding of that. But when you're communicating in the business place, make sure that you are in fact being heard. In high traffic areas, in industrial areas, plant areas, it's all too easy to be drowned out by the cacophony of noise that's around you. So be very clear to yourself that you heard what the intended message was. And the opposite of that is true. Make sure that you are being heard. Because people will go on instinct, and they're sometimes too polite to ask, would you say that again? Would you say that slower? Would you say that in a different way? So it's equally important to be heard and hear as it is to listen. I mean, just the auditory feedback that you get in terms of that. So if it's an important phone call, you may have been shushed in your offices because somebody's trying to get a point across, so you need to be cognizant of the noise level in your office. But you might want to take it to a private setting if it's all that important and it's a professional phone call, particularly when you're dealing with highly confidential information. And that is also on your phone tip sheet, that if you're dealing with collections, if you're dealing with sensitive information, HIPAA protected stuff, that has to go into some really private areas, and that requires the utmost of confidentiality, and that people are being heard because of extremely sensitive and timely information. So when you're dealing with issues between the ages, it's really important to know your audience. And we've got 4 generations now working in the workplace. People who were born in the 20s and people who were born in the 90s, now all working together in this huge mashup of cultures and language and things like that. So when you're working in these multi-generational workplaces, you want to be cognizant of the language and the cultures that folks were brought up in. And if there's too much youthful terminology, your older workers may get lost, or if it's an organization that's been predominantly managed by boomers and traditionals, the elder generation, they may be speaking a language that's not communicating well with Gen X's and Gen Y's. So you want to be cognizant of what those particular language idioms are. Okay, so this is between the sexes. The problems with X and Y is, and it might be a problem. So Jen's going to say, men, she's going to read, men talk to give information or report, and you're going to retort. But I really want you to play it hard. Like, be a little bit dismissive.
Men talk to give information or report.
Women talk to collect information or gain rapport.
Men talk about things, business, sports, food.
Women talk about people.
Men focus on facts, reason, and logic.
Well, I want to say so many different
Me
things.
too.
Go ahead. Play it up.
Wait, no, I'm going to stay safe and just read it.
We talked about fear over there earlier. Let's see. Between the cultures, there's we talked about 4 generations, 2 genders. The American melting pot is so full of different cultures that we really need to be sensitive around our communications with those particular issues. Again, this is pretty laden with information. I'll run down this. And I know, just as a sidebar, the worksheet you got is not the complete PowerPoint, and I can provide that to you. Send me or Jason an email, and we'll get the full PowerPoint out to you. So I appreciate your time. I hope you've had some fun. I hope you've learned some things. And reach me. My contact information is in your folder. You can get me through my business or through HCS. So thanks so much.